Hello, in this video we'll try to learn dividing two polynomial. Let's say I have two polynomial. One polynomial is function of x and I want to divide this polynomial by dx. Alright, so if I do that, I am going to get one quotient. So I'm going to represent quotient by qx, and I'm going to have a remainder, which is I'm going to represent using a symbol rx over dx, which is divisor. All right, so this is one way of expressing. So another way is let's say fx, which is dividend. So this is my dividend, and equals divisor, which is dx multiplied by qx. Qx is my quotient plus rx, which is my remainder. All right, so here qx is my quotient and r is remainder. All right, now let us see a very crude example. Let's say I want to divide 7 by 2. Okay, if I divide 7 over 2, my quotient is 3 and my remainder is 1. Okay, so this is one way of expressing the two division. Or I can write 7 equals 2, which is my divisor, multiplied by 3, which is my quotient, plus 1. So 7 equals 2 multiplied by 3 plus 1. So that is another way of expressing the term. All right, so let us now I am going to first discuss about the long division. All right, and then so let me use another color. So today we are going to learn, or in this video, long division. All right, now as usual I am going to write down the steps on the right hand side, and I'm going to solve a problem on the right hand side. Okay, so what I am going to do is what we want is I have this polynomial 2x square plus x power 5 plus 7 plus 4x cube. I'm going to divide this polynomial by this polynomial, which is x square plus 1 minus x. Okay, so what is my objective? My objective is to find quotient and remainder for this. So find quotient and remainder. All right, so this is our problem statement. So let us see my each step. Okay, so let's see my step number 1. So in the step number 1, I have to write the both dividend and divisor in descending power. So arrange the terms in descending order. So let us see what is my dividend. So my dividend, so let's see how I can write dividend. Okay, so let us see. So first of all, what is the highest power of my dividend? X power 5. So I'm going to write x power 5 here. Okay, and then what is the next highest power? 4x cube. So I'm going to write plus 4x cube, and then what is the next power? 2x square, so plus 2x square, and then plus 7. Okay, and what about my divisor? So my divisor here, my divisor is what? Highest power is x square, so I'm going to write x square here, and then what is my next power? Negative x, so I'm going to write negative x and then plus 1. Okay, so this is my number 1 step, arranging the term in descending order. Okay, so now let us see the second step. Okay, second step is very important. Okay, which is insert the missing term. Okay, so insert the missing term. Insert the missing terms. Alright, so let us look at my dividend. Okay, if you notice, my dividend start with what? X power 5, and then what is the next power of x? X cube. So which power is missing? X power 4 is missing. So what I'm going to write? I'm going to write x power 4, and I am going to use a coefficient 0. Okay, so what I am using? I am using a coefficient 0. Okay, so now, so what I inserted? 0 multiplied by x power 4. So I am not actually adding any extra thing. I'm simply writing 0 multiplied by x power 4. Now see the next, x cube. Okay, fine. Then after x square, that is also fine. Now after x square, I have what? A constant term, positive 7. So what term I am missing here? I am missing here the x term. So what I am going to do? Again, I am going to add 0 multiplied by x. So you see, so I am inserting 0 multiplied by x, and here I am inserting 0 multiplied by x power 4. So that is called insert the missing term. All right, so that is my step number 2. Okay, now let us see step number 3. All right, so before I write down step number 3, what I am going to do is I'm going to organize or set up my problem. So I am going to write down the divisor here. What is my divisor? X square minus x plus 1. All right, and then what is my dividend? My dividend is x power 5 plus 0 multiplied by x power 4 plus 4x cube plus 2x square plus 0 multiplied by x plus 7. All right, and I'm going to put a line at the top of my this. All right, so I already set up my problem. Now in the step number 3, what I have to do is I am going to pick up, so let me use another color. I am going to pick up the first term. Okay, first term of my dividend, which is what? X power 5. So let me pick, so let me write down here x power 5. All right, and I am going to divide the first term of my dividend by the first term of my divisor, which is what? X square. So x power 5 over x square. So what I am getting? I am getting x cube. So write down this x cube over here. Okay, so that is the step number 3. So what is the step number 3? Divide the first term of dividend by the first term of divisor. of divisor. Okay, so this is my step number 3. Okay, done. So let us now look at step number 4. All right, what I am going to do in step number 4. So what you do, you pick that x cube. So I am going to pick that x cube and I am going to multiply the x cube by the whole divisor. What is the whole divisor? X square minus x plus 1. So x square minus x plus 1. So if I multiply that, what I get? X cube multiplied by x square is x power 5. X cube multiplied by minus x is what? Minus x power 4. And then x cube multiplied by plus 1 is plus x cube. So I am going to write down this result here. Okay, so what I am going to write? X power 5 minus x power 4 plus x cube. Okay, so that is my step number 4. So what I did in step number 4, multiply this by the whole divisor. Okay, so now in step number 5, subtract. So if I try to subtract, so now let us see. So I am subtracting what? X power 5, and this positive x power 5 will be negative x power 5. So this is cancel out. Okay, now the negative x power 4 is going to be what? I'm subtracting, so it is going to be positive x power 4. So 0 x power 4 plus x power 4, it is going to be x power 4 here. Okay, then this plus is going to be minus. So 4x cube minus x cube. So I'm going to have what? Plus 3x cube. And I'm going to write down the rest of the term. Okay, if I write down the rest of the term, what I get? Plus 2x square plus 0x plus 7. Okay, so that is my step number 5. All right, so now let's look at step number 6. So step number 6 is repeat. Okay, so repeat step 3. Repeat step 3. Okay, so let us see. So if I try to repeat step 3, what I'm going to do, I'm going to pick x power 4, the first term of my dividend, and divided by x square, the first term of my divisor. So if I do that, so what I am getting, I am dividing x power 4 by that first term x square. So if I divide that, I got x square. So I am going to write down that x square here. So plus x square. Now what I am going to do, step number 4, I am going to multiply that x square by this whole divisor. Okay, so let's do it one by one. So x square multiplied by this x square is what? X power 4. So I'm going to write it here. And then x square multiplied by negative x. So x square multiplied by negative x is what? Negative x cube. Then x square multiplied by positive 1, which is positive x square. All right, so I am done with this step. And then again what I do, I am going to subtract. So this positive x power 4 is going to be negative x power 4. So x power 4 minus x power 4 cancel out. This negative x cube is going to be positive x cube. So 3x cube, positive x cube is going to be what? 4x cube. Then this positive x square is going to be negative x square. So positive 2x square. So positive 2x square minus x square is become what? Positive x square. And then I'm going to write down the other two element. So 0 multiplied by x plus 7. So I am done with this step. Now again it is going to be a loop. So again I'm going to pick what? The first term of my dividend, which is what? 4x cube. 4x cube. and I'm going to divide by what? My first term of my divisor, which is x square. So which is x square, and what I get? I get 4x, and I'm going to write down that 4x over here. So positive 4x. Now what I am going to do, my next step is multiply that positive 4x by that divisor. So let's do it one by one. So 4x multiplied by x square is what? 4x cube. Then 4x multiplied by negative x, it has become what? Negative 4x square. Then 4x multiplied by positive 1, which is going to be simply positive 4x. And then what is my step? Of course, subtract. Again the first term cancel out, so this negative is going to become positive. Okay, so x square plus 4x square is going to be what? 5x square. Then 0x, and this positive 4x is going to be negative 4x. Okay, so 0x minus 4x, so it is going to be negative 4x, and then I'm going to write positive 7. Okay, so that's the end of this step. Now again what I'm going to do, I am going to pick the first term of my dividend, which is what? 5x square. So I'm going to write down 5x square here, and I'm going to divide by what? The first term of my divisor, which is x square. So I get what? 5. So I'm going to write down that 5 over here plus 5. So what is the next step? Now I'm going to multiply 5. So 5 multiplied by x square is what? 5x square. Then 5 multiplied by negative x, so negative 5x. Then 5 multiplied by 1, which is plus 5. And then what is my last step? I need to subtract. So if I subtract, these first two terms cancel out, so negative 4x, and this is going to be positive 5x, so it will be simply x, and then 7, and this positive 5 is going to be negative 5, so it will be plus 2. All right, so I cannot do it anymore. So now, as you can see, let me use another color if I may. So this whole thing is my quotient. Okay, so what is my quotient? X cube plus x square plus 4x plus 5. So this is my quotient. This is my quotient. And what is my remainder? This x plus 2 is my remainder. Okay, so this is my remainder. Okay, so ultimately if I try to write down the result, so what is my result? So my quotient, is x cube plus x square plus 4x plus 5. And what is my remainder? Remainder is x plus 2. So this is a complete solution of my dividing two polynomial. Okay, so this is my number one problem. So of course I am going to try to solve another problem for long division. Okay, so let's do it. Okay, right, so let's say I want to divide these two polynomial. So which one? X power 4 negative 13x square plus x plus 35 5 and I want to divide it by this x square minus 6 minus x. Okay, so that is basically I need to find quotient and remainder. Okay, so let's follow step by step. Okay, in number one step, what I need to do, I need to organize my term. I need to organize my dividend and divisor in descending order. Okay, so let us see first. Okay, so first of all, let's write down the dividend. So which is my dividend? X power 4 is my highest term. Then after x power 4 there is no x cube, so I'm going to skip it. And then what is the next term? X square. So negative 13 x square, and then plus x plus 35. Okay, so in essence my terms are already in order. So let's do for the divisor. Okay, which is what? So for the divisor, my highest term is x square, and what is the next highest term? Negative x. So negative x and then negative 6. So I am done with step number 1. Okay, organizing the term. Okay, now let's do the step number 2. In the step number 2, what I need to do, I need to insert the missing terms. All right, so let us see. I have x power 4 here and I have x square. So what is the missing term? Missing term is x cube. So what I am going to do, I am going to insert plus 0 multiplied by x cube. So I am not changing anything. So and that's the only missing term here. So x power 4, x cube, x square, x power 1, and then constant term 35. Right, so I am done with step number 2. So now let's do step number 3. So before we do step number 3, we need to do what first? We need to basically set up our problem. So if I try to set up our problem, first I'm going to do what? I'm going to simply write down my divisor, and then I'm going to write down the dividend, which is what? X power 4 plus 0 x cube minus 13 x square plus x plus 35. All right, and then I'm going to draw a line over here. All right, so now let's so this is my step number 3. What is my step number 4? My step number 4, I am going to pick the first term of my dividend. So I'm going to pick first term of my dividend, which is x power 4, and then I'm divided by what? The first term of my divisor, which is x square. So which is x square. So if I do that, I got what? I got x square. So x power 4 over x square is x square. I'm going to write down that x square here. Now what I'm going to do, I am going to multiply that x square by my whole divisor. Okay, so let's do one by one. So x square multiplied by this x square is what? X power 4, of course. Then x square multiplied by this negative x is what? Negative x cube. Then x square multiplied by negative 6 is what? Negative 6x square. All right, now I am going to subtract. If I subtract, of course this sign is going to, positive is going to be negative, negative is going to be positive, and negative is going to be positive. So first two terms cancel out. Okay, so this negative is going to be positive. Okay, so positive x cube. So 0x cube plus x cube become what? X cube. Then negative 13x square and positive 6x square is become what? Negative 7x square. And then I'm going to write down the other two term, which is plus x plus 35. Okay, so this is end of these steps. All right, so now let's go to the next step. Again, I'm going to pick up what? The first term of my dividend, which is x cube. So here I have x cube. and I'm going to divide by what? First term of my divisor, which is x square. So x cube over x square is what? X. So I'm going to write down this x over here, so plus x. Now let's multiply. So plus x multiplied by x square is x cube, of course. Then plus x multiplied by minus x is what? Minus x square. Then plus x multiplied by minus 6 is minus 6x. So and then I'm going to subtract. So of course x cube and negative x cube cancel out. This negative x square become positive x square. So negative 7x square positive x square become negative 6x square. Then negative 6x become positive 6x. So positive x plus positive 6x is plus 7x, and then plus 35. Alright, so now let's do the next step. What is next step? Again I'm going to pick up the first term of my dividend, which is what? Negative 6x square, and I'm going to divide by first term of my divisor, which is x square. So if I do that, I end up with negative 6. So I'm going to write down that negative 6 over here. So negative 6. So let's multiply. Negative 6 multiplied by x square. So what I get? Negative 6x square. Negative 6 multiplied by negative x become what? Positive 6x. Then negative 6 multiplied by negative 6 is what? Positive 36. So now again let's subtract. So if I subtract, my first two terms cancel out. 7x minus 6x become x, and 35 minus 36 is minus 1. So this is what? My dividend, this is my quotient. So this is my quotient, and what is my remainder? Remainder is x minus 1. So this is my remainder. Okay, so this is the complete solution for my this particular problem. So these two problems are called long division. So that will be the end of the long division. In the next video I'm going to try to explain you the synthetic division. Okay, see you then. Thank you.